Hello friends. In this video, we will see the JB movie through the eyes of an UPSC aspirant. So how does an UPSC aspirant analyze a movie, and how do we approach or the 360-degree analysis of a movie through the syllabus that we have? That is what we will see in this video. So let us go into the video. So this video will be about analysis of the movie Jai Bhim through the eyes of an UPSC aspirant. How do you analyze through paper 1, paper 2, paper 3, paper 4, and how do you do that? That is what this video is. So we'll start with paper 1, that is history. So historical analysis of, for example, this movie talks about a population called as Irula or Irulars. So who were these Irulars, if you ask me? So before, for example, 60 to 70,000 years ago, there is a theory called as anthropological theory called as out of Africa theory. What this theory states is that a band of 150 to 50 people, they migrated across the continent Africa and they moved into West Asia, and from there to India, then Southeast Asia, then they went to Siberia, and from there United States of America, and a set of population also went to Europe. And this is what is called as out of Africa theory. And if you see India is not one, or it was not made into a country of a living population with one set of flow of people. No, there are multiple flows of people, and this flow, or the first flow of people 60,000 years ago, was supposed to be the year, or supposed to be the time when India was occupied by Homo sapiens. So, for example, what we are talking about is the origin of Homo sapiens from Africa, and they moving out to different parts of this continent, the planet Earth. And if you happen to see, what scientists say is that each of us in different continent, we may look different, but we are actually linked together as one species, and this is a very strange fact. And if you ask me again, the population called as Irulas were forming part of that first wave of people. And there are a tribal population in Andaman and Nicobar called as Ong Jarawas. They also, what scientists say is that they also formed part of that first wave which came. And for example, the Honorable Supreme Court, in one of the judgments, Justice Markandeya Kadju has said, this Indian land belongs to these original population who had come and settled in India. And if you ask me whether there is evidence for that, yes, there is evidence. So, for example, the Indian history, or the history of our country, and many of the things in preamble, if you ask me, were derived from Indus Valley civilization. The Indus Valley civilization in the northwestern India was the start, I would say. And for example, recently they excavated a site, Rakigiri in Haryana. They excavated a site, and this came in the Hindu paper also. And what they have done is that with that excavated body, they had analyzed the DNA. And when we match the DNA, what does it show means? It is showing closer affinity to the population of Irulas. What you think about it, what it means, what is the significance means? The population which was present in the Indus Valley civilization have close affinity to the population of Irulas. And Dr. Ambedkar, in many of his book, he refers to mythology. He actually goes and takes examples from direct mythological stories of, or ancient scriptures of India, the original scriptures of India. In that, he refers to a population called as Naga. In that, there is so many references in scriptures, ancient scriptures and population, referring to a population called as Naga. Naga means snake. And if you happen to see, that is what Ambedkar concludes in his book, saying Nagas were the original inhabitants of India. That is what he concludes. And if you happen to see, Irula is having very close affinity to snakes. And that is what this movie shows you, that they were important in taming, or important in having an affinity towards snakes. And this movie starts, for example, with the showing of Urulas as hunters, and we're having closer one. There is one scene where the hero or the protagonist leaves a snake into the forest unharmed, so this affinity is shown through that scene. And if you happen to see, this is the point of historical analysis of Urulas. And then next point, yes, the next point is world history. So this was our history. The next point is world history, and world history forms a very important part, and that is why we have a syllabus, in our syllabus, a concept called as communism. If you happen to see, yes, this ideology has been misused in many other places, and totalitarian governments have taken this ideology into an extreme form, and they have misused it, and oppression of people have happened. But basic idea of communism, I want to quote a person called as Petit, a philosopher called as Petit. What he says about liberty, what he says about liberty is very interesting. He says liberty is the capacity to stand eye to eye with your fellow citizens in shared awareness, that is, both of us should be aware that none of you can interfere in each other's life. That is, I should be able to stand face to face with you without any fear of interference. And that is what liberty says. And if you happen to see, communism, or the ideology of communism, has this core tenet. As I told you, ideologies, and if you happen to see, every possible ideology of human beings have been misused, including religion and including many other philosophies. But communism has also been misused. But the core idea, and the core idea of that is liberty. And how do you and what relevance has this got to the movie means, if you happen to see, many in Sengeni, she would be going for justice to so many places. No one would actually help her. But communist or people having communist ideology, in the first scene also, a communist member would be sitting next to the person who has been taken to prison without any charge. The first scene itself shows a communist person sitting next to. And for Sengeni also, the person who goes and gives a platform, so ideology, the main aim of an ideology is to give a platform for asking for your rights. Workers in this film would do, and that is what you have to have an idea about. And the second most important, so what we have to analyze is, the next is the geography, right? So in GS paper 1, geographical analysis. And Irulars are a population which actually inhabit the present day Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Karnataka, and they form the original Dravidian stock. So Dravidian stock. And if you happen to see, they are of a darker complexion, and in that movie it is very clearly visible that the skin tone and of the irregular population and the population in the plains of Tamil Nadu, so if this if you happen to see, this is what the original inhabitants of a population are actually darker, and we still have these commercials giving creams for fairness, so it's a kind of a dichotomy which we as a society have accepted, that dark skin complexion is something to be cured. But Irula's, the original wave of population who had settled in India, are actually dark, and in that movie it is clearly visible. And the next important is social issues. Social issues, for example, UPSC had asked a question: why are sex ratio high among tribal population? This was a question in UPSC. They asked in GS paper 1. And if you happen to see, this movie would clearly show you the reason for why the sex ratio is high. And the male female, so for example, in that movie, the male female relationship, it will be shown as a friendship, it will be a companionship. They will be equally responsible for taking childbirth decision, taking working decision. For example, it would be like a discussion, it will be there for discussion. But immediately you think about the dichotomy arising in the plain or the normal population, or the family from which supposedly the protagonist or he steals, supposedly the plot twist unravels there. their family will be there, their husband wife relations will be there, and the scene will be there when the person is or the wife is sitting in the car in the back seat, and the husband is sitting in the front. In that scene, for example, it will be shown as the protection. So it is like so that is what ancient hunting gathering, it was more like companionship. But once the agricultural start, once this building of this wealth started, people started taking women for protection. So now also, for example, many would say that women are like diamond and gold, they need to be protected. But this protection, if you see, is in turn giving rise to what is a system called as patriarchy. And that is what UPSC is asking in the last essay. Patriarchy is the least visible form of system which leads to social inequality. So it is invisible, but it is through these relationships is what this system is formed. And for irregulars, if you see, it will not be the same. And that is why, if you see, the sex ratio or the responsibility of women or the rights of women is high among tribal population. So now we will come to paper 2. Paper 2, for example, it starts with polity. And this film actually surrounds through because of an article called as 32 article or habeas corpus. This whole film revolves around that concept of habeas corpus producing the body. So what is the relevant article? Article 32 and Article 226 for High Court. And they have other writs as well, mandamus, prohibition, quo warranto. And if you ask Dr. Ambedkar, he says that Article 32 is the most essential soul of the Constitution. Why he says, if you happen to see, if we go back to the history, it goes back to the Magna Carta of the United Kingdom. If you and what is this Magna Carta? Is that this is the start of constitution, or this is the start of a system called as parliament, or a modern system called as parliament. If you happen to see 13th century, the king was the most powerful person. So whatever, so if the king wants to take away some person's life, immediately the person can take. But what happened was that the king had, or in the case of like same Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones is nothing but the modern, or the modern play of the history of Europe. There will be a king and there will be many barons. So in that Game of Thrones, 7 will be there, but there will be many barons. What these barons thought is that the king is all powerful. If the king wants to remove us, the king can do it in one day. And hence, what these barons all did together is that they formed a coalition, and they said that king cannot be all powerful. King has to refer to a council or a congress of people chosen amongst us. So chosen amongst us in order for taking decisions in relation to taxes and other affairs. And if you closely watch, that is the system which is there in our constitution and every constitution. So president is a symbol of that king, and the council which the barons have elected themselves is the symbol of the parliament. So in the barons, they elected themselves, parliament people elect. This is democracy. This is the growth which has happened. And if you happen to see similarities here is that, and those barons asked for the first, so that is what, so we have fundamental rights, same way they started there. The barons asked for a fundamental right, and there they asked for this habeas corpus. What they said is that the king should not be having the liberty, or the king should not have the power to remove the liberty of any person. No person can be removed without a trial. And that is how, for example, rule of law was formed. That is, the rule is the same for the king and the common man. Same is the president and the common man, citizen. That is what is in the constitution. And that is why Dr. Ambedkar says this habeas corpus forms the soul of the constitution, because it is for the protection of each of the fundamental rights present in the constitution. And this is paper 2. And next is paper 3. And here we have to analyze about something called as inclusive growth. And if you happen to see, this inclusive growth is a very key concept. For example, India wants to attain 5 lakh or $5 trillion, $5 trillion economy. But whether it is penetrating into the every population is a very essential fact to be noted, because recently or a few years ago also, a person belonging to a tribal population in Kerala, one of the most developed states, one of the most high performing states. For example, yesterday also listed come Kerala was the highest performing state. In the highest performing state, a tribal population of tribes, how they are. So the Zaka committee report. So for example, Zaka committee report is for protection of tribal population. The report suggests that even not, see, not in Kerala, in every state, but even in Kerala, such a high performing state, the status of tribals is very low. And a person called as Madhu, he was actually he was beaten to death. You know, he in the saying that when he was hungry, he had stolen some food. But if, for example, so the thing, next question we should ask is this the fault of that person, or is this the fault of the society to make them empowered? It should be the part of the society to empower the population, to give them education, to give them food, to give them everything possible or the skills necessary to participate in that $5 trillion economy. If I am not being given all these, how would a person participate in that $5 trillion economy? How would that 5 trillion economy grow? And this is the concept called as inclusive growth or empowering the population, which is present in paper 3, you know. And this is very essential. And the next important part is internal security and ARC report. So second ARC report has a separate chapter on law and order and public order. And in that there is in the sense that police reforms, they have asked for police reforms a lot. And many committees, Ribeiro committee, many committees are there. And in that, for example, you should know that they have said this. See, police also have a lot of pressures. And for example, what the second ARC suggests is that the core police functions should be retained, other things should be given to the responsible or respective institutions. For example, police does all the works for bandobast work, or standing from morning to in the night for any bandobast, or chief guest visiting, or any other work, menial works. And this is and second, the salaries are very low. And this you would see in, for example, the Delhi crime. There was a Delhi crime in Netflix. There is a Delhi crime. In that, for example, if you see, the constable would be the first person to reach the spot where the girl is lying. And at the end of the series, you would see he himself or his family himself would be suffering, and his wife would be suffering. You would not be having the money essential for giving medicine at all. So this kind of things has to be this should not be neglected. This systematic changes have to happen, and that is what second ARC says. And if we can do that, these errors which are happening, you know, these errors, if, for example, in this movie also, not every constable would be aiding all these atrocities which was happening. There would be one constable, he would want to help, but he would not be socially or economically so powerful to help that person. And he would also not, and that is what this strict order of hierarchy which exists in police system would not help him in any way to save or provide justice for the person. And that is the point. So a systematic change and a very in the sense that a complete overhaul of how the police system should work has been given in second ARC, that should be looked into. And the next fourth GS paper 4, there is a case study. So in this movie also case study is there, and it is wonderfully portrayed by Prakash Raj, you know. And how, so you think about it, when you are in the seat of Prakash Raj, if you are there and you are the very high position, whether you would think about the respect of the system you are part of, or whether you would think about the justice that you are going to give. And this is a very complicated dilemma, you know. That is why GS paper 4 is there. See, it is not a very easy decision. You would have colleagues who are your friends. Okay, you would have colleagues who are your friends. Maybe they are involved in something. Whether when you are in an investigation committee, whether you would look into the justice of the population or the friendship that you have, personal relations. And this is what is the moral dilemma, you know. That is what in ethics paper they ask in moral dilemma. And if you happen to see, how do you take that decision? When you are having a moral ethical dilemma, go to the person Gandhiji's quote. So in GS paper 4, there will be quote. So you ask Gandhiji, Gandhiji will give you the answer. What Gandhiji says is that if there is a moral and ethical dilemma, if you are having a moral and ethical dilemma and taking a decision, whether you're so you have to test only one case. So whether you are taking a decision, you have to take only one case. If that decision is benefiting the last poorest and the poor, the last person standing, if this decision that you are taking will benefit that person, then your decision is ethical, you can take the decision. So if you are having a moral and ethical dilemma in a case study in Prakash Raj's case, if you are there, means you have to look into the whether this decision will benefit the poorest of the poor, and you take that decision, and that will be the moral and ethical dilemma, or solution for moral and ethical dilemma. So I will conclude with what Thomas Jefferson. So in 1787, Thomas Jefferson, the founding father of United States of America, he said, what country can preserve its liberties if their rulers are not warned from time to time that their people preserve their spirit of resistance? What Thomas Jefferson wants to say is that the liberties in a country, so the liberties in a country, if they had to be protected, the people should have the spirit of resistance. And I see this Jai Bhim movie as the spirit of resistance, showing the mirror to the society to correct its way forward for the benefit of all, and this will be the so for example, if you had liked this video, please do like it, share it, and subscribe it. And there is a Minds of Aspirant group link which is there, where I share current affairs for prelims, mains, and important questions for prelims, mains, and every other possible detail related to Minds of Aspirants will be in that group. Please do join it, and thank you. All the best.